yesterday, I could really see how the mind and body are connected. It's connected through gut flora, the microbe. I had a sudden shock, a fight with somebody, an in-law. I was stung by the devil. That's how I felt all day long. Everything just switched in my mind. And it was terrifying. I told my husband, I feel like I've been stung by a demon. All day long I was feeling different, and my digestion stopped. I felt like I had a truck in the gut. Everything just stopped. I didn't know who I was. I felt alienated. I had to lie down, and even then I felt like I couldn't breathe from the obstruction in the gut, because this gut flora is tied to digestion and mood. It all goes together. Everything just switched in an instant because of some sting shot from a distant relative. You really see it then. I had to work it through and pray and study, and when I woke up this morning, I was okay again. I was back to normal. My digestion was back to normal. I didn't feel this obstruction. When you're stung like that, you blow it up. Everything changes. It's quite evident. It was such a rude awakening, but it was to everything I knew. How the body and mind are intertwined all through the gut. The food we eat, the digestion, everything goes together. My mood completely changed into fear. I'm usually quite joyful. Being alone, welcoming the new day, being creative all day. But this was like fear all day. Fear of impending doom and just feeling stung from this person I had been with. And, it's not a democracy, we're all alike. There's a calibration to life. There's higher and lower. And you have to trust your discernment. People say, everybody has good and bad in them, Yes, but you have to trust your discernment that somebody is just screwed up. If they're cluttered or promiscuous or just could care less about anything, they don't respect your property rights, they do things that bug you. Use your discernment and trust it. I wasn't with this person for about a year. I was cutting her slack the whole year. And finally, she came over a couple days ago, and something has changed in her. I could sense a jealousy. And I had to pick a bone with her about something that she did, and I was asking questions. It was important to me. My feelings were very intense about it. She refused to answer the question. I knew something was up. I didn't know what it was, but I said to my husband, if it weren't for you, she'd want me dead. I just felt it. And then the next day, I got into it. I kept asking the same question. I'm giving her rent-free. I'm saving her $18,000 a year. The least she can do is answer my questions about things that are important to me, whether she thinks they're important or not. She refused. I knew something was up. And finally she says, I refuse to discuss this with you at all. She's sitting there rent-free from, that just turned everything in my mind after a year. I became aware about her suddenly. Click, finally. And it escalated, and that was it. No more communication. I'm in silence, she's in silence. Now I'll let God work out the details. I want her gone. But I'm going to let God work out the details. But this is how it happens. You don't trust your discernment, suddenly you do. There's a click in the head, and you recall everything that happened before. It's like an encyclopedia. Click, 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 all the things that you'd ignored before. And it accumulates. And then, pow, you're in a new life. I woke up feeling so good this morning. It was like it cracked the surface. Total pain and fear yesterday. And I worked it through and woke up more grown than ever. Growth is a wonderful thing, But a lot of people commit suicide when they're cracking. When they felt like I did yesterday, I am very hypersensitive. I can sense things, and it just, the fear is just overwhelming. A lot of people suicide on that day. They don't realize it's only temporary. They don't realize that it reaches critical mass of chaos and then calm, peaceful. You're now at a new level. You have to work through it. Wow, what an insight. She's a witch. To look at what Jung called the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious of unhealed wounds. I think of Nazi Germany, the buildup, and how this collective unconscious spreads to other countries, where they all just hate Jews. It just builds up. It's all a turmoil underneath, and then he made things legal, and then it became conscious. It's the same thing with any group. When you become aware, they're like a predatory animal. They can sense there's something different in you. If you're dealing with a narcissist and suddenly you become aware of their games, they can sense it. They're losing the prey. That's what happens. I remember going back home after being away for a couple years. I had become very aware. I had been in Jungian psychiatry. I had written out an entire theory. I saw everything different. I was very different. I came back into the network, and they could all sense it. And it's like they hated me. And I didn't know why. Well, it's a collective unconscious. And they're like a predator with prey. You're different, they can sense it. As Jung said, let your pain be your cure, cracking the surface so the soul can emerge. Yesterday was total pain. Pain physically. I felt like I had a truck in the gut. I couldn't move. Everything was just stuck. Nothing would move. And my mood and my thoughts were just devastating. That was pain of change. That was pain of becoming aware. Let your pain be your cure. Don't suicide over it or drink over it. Go through it. Thank God for it. It has to happen in transition. Life is a series of transitions. Don't fear the void in the meantime. To be empty of things, you'll be full of God. To be full of things, you'll be empty of God. That's why I say declutter your existence. Simplify your life. Get rid of all the material clutter. You can't take it with you. It's just stuff in the universe. It'll be irrelevant in 10 years, 1 year, 100 years. It doesn't mean anything. The more empty you can make yourself, the more new doors will open, but basically you'll be more full of God. That's the whole issue. We're full of clutter. I have to tell myself this all the time. I tend to collect images and collect things for the videos, and I just feel chaos sometimes. And I think, no, simplify. Go by intuition. Pick and choose with intuition, without reason. Always going for simplification. It's a matter of collapsing illusions to make room for the real. We all think our reality is it. It's called the ontologically fatal insight, the shock that the world is not what we thought it was. It just precedes psychotic, schizophrenic shock. The world, like a bombed out city, the world was not what you thought it was. Letting your illusions about people go makes room for the real, and a whole new world opens. This is Jungian psychiatry. Crack the surface. It's not decline, it's awakening. It feels like it's decline though. No. Let everything change, like feeling a foreigner. in your own world. All of a sudden you can't relate to any of it. Feeling like you're a stranger in a strange land. As if you went to a foreign land and you're the only person of your race or culture in that whole land. That's the way it feels as you're changing, as you're going up the ladder. I remember feeling that way when I went back home again after being away for a couple years at the university. I felt like this is foreign. It freaked me out. I didn't recognize my mother, my sisters. They were like foreigners. I was terrified. I had changed, and they sensed the change, and they were angry. The devil in them was angry at me. It was really scary. Now, a lot of people will sabotage their success or their growth in order to fit back into the system. But I had gone so far that I couldn't do that, so I just suffered the persecution. And it was scary, very scary. If you know what's going on, it can help you through it. It was bad, my clash with an in-law. But I thought, I've written 100 books on this. I've evolved in solitude. She has not. She's social. She's surrounded by people all the time and culture, and she finds that mundanity, whereas I have transcended mundanity. I see her cluttered existence. She's living on muffins and trying to destroy my husband's health with them. I could see through all this. I trust my own discernment and my own theory, rather than saying, well, this is how it is, and I'll be the docile member here and just go along with it. And then she'd say, oh, my sweet sister. You see, I got her approval for that. But when I started to stand up to her, oh boy, the devil came out. When you escape the plantation, that's when they get angry. When you're a docile slave to their mediocre traditions, they love you. You got to decide. I'd pick the former. I saw then that in-laws can be a bigger problem than even your own family. It's pure projection. They don't know you. You have nothing in common. And they're projecting their crap onto you, and they don't know you. And you want to make friends and be nice, so you don't project the real you and what you think. You just want to sort of melt in so that everything is calm with your husband. And that didn't work. I tried to be the docile, sweet sister for about a year, and I can't do it anymore. It was bad. I'm not going to take her projections anymore. This is how you have to think. What causes mental illness in adapting to a narcissist like that? They gaslight you. And they always play victim, and they never take responsibility for what they do. It's always your fault. That was what happened. Evil will always call you evil. A perpetual victim, that's the narcissist, will always call you the culprit. It's always your fault. They never take responsibility. And this is a severe gaslight on your soul. You've got to stand up to it. I would say just go into silence. We agreed to disagree. We agreed to not message anymore. I'm not going to get into that anymore. That I'm a sweet sister if I can comply, and I'm a terrible, disgusting person if I even criticize her the slightest bit. She says it's going back and bringing up the past, always bringing up the past. There is never any accountability. There's never any way to work through anything or correct a person. They will not correct at all. And you know what the Bible says about that. You must accept correction. There's no correction. So I feel like $1,000,000 this morning. No more of that. I'm going to be just myself because it's hard won, and that's how it's going to stay. These are ingrates, ungrateful people. She refused to talk about something that was very important to me. that I had deep feelings about. Personal property of mine that she lent out and lost. Okay, I can't go into the past. Don't go into the past. Listen, I had deep feelings about it. I asked questions about it. She wouldn't answer the questions. I knew something was up. And then she finally said, leave me alone. I'm not going to talk about this anymore. And here, I'm giving her a place to live. No, these are ingrates. It's like a teenager, a juvenile delinquent. You give them something, they're not grateful. They just rebel more. You give them a place to live in your home, they rebel in your home and turn it into a grenade range. Ingrates. Be familiar with that word, ingrates. Because we think, since we're grateful, they would be grateful. We tend to project what we feel onto them. They're not grateful. They're just going to fight. They're going to run their number on you. That's the most important thing. Trust your discernment that you are right and they are wrong. Screw democracy. I'm a movie buff. I like movies. Movies from the 50s, 60s, and 70s are much better to me. Modern movies are pat, mediocre, boring, and predictable. How come they always have a drawer next to them with a knife so they can stab somebody? They just happen to have a knife there. How come there's so many poisonings? Poisoning people's drinks. That's like the main thing. It's just so predictable. And the thing I hate about modern movies is that you see a picture of a cat or a dog, you can predict that cat or dog will be killed in the movie. I just hate that. They didn't do that in the early movies because that puts ideas into people's brains. Oh, I'm going to get back at her by killing her cat or dog. It always happens. If they show a picture of a cat or dog, you can predict that in the movie that dog's going to be dead. I hate that. It's too easy. It's too sad. Leave the pets out of it because people get ideas. People are empty. You just put ideas in people's heads. Stop doing that. It's the modern generation. What is it, Gen Z or whatever? I don't know what they call it. It's always the same thing. Stop doing it. Now, the early movies in the 50s, 60s, and 70s had complex scripts. They didn't rely on effects. They were interesting and complex dramas. They weren't predictable, but the modern ones are, they're so boring. I mean, it's like a teenager wrote them. I'm not interested in any of them. They're just pat and mediocre.